Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted forest. The path ahead is hidden, tangled with undergrowth, and the sunlight barely pierces through the canopy. Some people might stand there waiting for a gust of wind to clear the way or for a guide to appear. Others take out a machete and start carving their own trail. Life often presents us with similar choices. Wait passively for luck to strike, or grab the tools we have and create our own opportunity. The difference between those who thrive and those who merely survive often comes down to this simple truth. Opportunities are not found, they are made. We live in a world that romanticizes the idea of being in the right place at the right time. We hear stories of overnight successes, lottery winners, or chance encounters that change someone's life. But these tales, while compelling, are exceptions. They are the glittering distractions that make us forget the real work of building a meaningful life. The reality is that waiting for chance is like waiting for rain in a drought. You might get lucky, but relying on it is a gamble with your time, your potential, and your future. Time is the one resource you can never replenish. Once it's gone, it's gone. So why leave your dreams to the mercy of randomness? Consider the inventors, artists, and leaders who shaped history. Thomas Edison didn't stumble upon the light bulb while waiting for inspiration. He famously said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." He tested thousands of materials, failed repeatedly, and kept going. His success wasn't luck, it was relentless effort. Marie Curie didn't discover radium by accident. She spent years laboring in a makeshift shed, processing tons of uranium ore to extract a few grams of the element. These individuals didn't wait for a sign, they became the sign. They understood that opportunity isn't a distant star you wish upon. It's a fire you ignite through action. The problem with waiting for chance is that it breeds complacency. It tricks us into thinking that success is a matter of fate rather than choice. We tell ourselves if it's meant to be, it will happen, as if the universe has a master plan for our lives. But this mindset is a trap. It shifts responsibility away from us and onto some invisible force. It allows us to justify inaction. Think of the aspiring writer who waits for a muse instead of writing daily, or the entrepreneur who delays launching a business until the economy. Meanwhile, time slips by. Days turn into months and months into years until one day they wake up wondering, what if I had just started? Creating opportunity requires a shift in perspective. It starts with recognizing that you are not a passenger in your life. You are the driver. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to move. Take the story of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She was selling fax machines door to door when she got the idea for her billion-dollar company. She didn't wait for a venture capitalist to discover her. She researched patents, sold prototypes herself, and cold-called manufacturers until someone took her seriously. She created her opportunity by refusing to wait for someone else to open the door. So how do we cultivate this proactive mindset? It begins with clarity. Ask yourself, what do I want? Not in vague terms, but with precision. If you say, I want to be successful, dig deeper. Successful at what? In what time frame? What steps will get you there? Goals are the blueprint for opportunity. They give direction to your energy. Without them, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the current takes you. Once you have clarity, the next step is to act even when the conditions aren't perfect. Perfect is the enemy of progress. The writer J.K. Rowling penned the first Harry Potter book as a single mother living on welfare. She didn't wait for a quiet house or a fancy laptop. She wrote in cafes while her baby slept. She prioritized creating over waiting. Another key to creating opportunity is embracing the power of small, consistent actions. We often overestimate what we can achieve in a day and underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. Think of every small effort as a seed. Plant enough seeds, tend to them diligently, and eventually you'll have a garden. A musician doesn't master an instrument in one marathon practice session. They show up daily even when they don't feel inspired. Over time, those hours compound into expertise. The same principle applies to any endeavor. Want to start business? Begin by researching the market, talking to potential customers, or saving a portion of your income. Each step, no matter how minor, builds momentum. Networking is another tool often misunderstood in the context of opportunity. Some see it as schmoozing at events or collecting LinkedIn connections. But true networking is about building genuine relationships. It's about adding value to others without expecting immediate returns. When you focus on how you can help rather than what you can gain, you plant seeds of trust. Years later, those seeds might grow into partnerships, job offers, or collaborations. Consider the story of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Their friendship began with a shared interest in technology, not a calculated business move, yet their collaboration revolutionized entire industries. Opportunities often come through people, but only if you've invested in those relationships long before you need something. Fear of failure is perhaps the biggest obstacle to creating opportunity. We hesitate because we're afraid of looking foolish, wasting resources, or falling short. But failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Every misstep teaches you something. Edison didn't see his 10,000 failed experiments as failures. He said, I didn't fail, I just found 10 ways that won't work. The key is to reframe failure as feedback. If you try something and it doesn't work, you've gained valuable information. Adjust your approach and try again. The only true failure is giving up. Consider the story of Colonel Sanders. He was in his 60s when he started franchising Kentucky Fried Chicken. Before that, he faced a series of setbacks. His gas station closed, his recipes were rejected by countless restaurants, and he survived on Social Security checks. But he didn't let age or rejection stop him. He drove across the country cooking chicken for restaurant owners until someone said yes. His persistence transformed a simple recipe into a global empire. His opportunity wasn't handed to him. He created it through sheer tenacity. It's also crucial to recognize that opportunity often disguises itself as hard work. We dream of breakthroughs, but shy away from the grind required to achieve them. We want the reward without the risk, the victory without the fight. But meaningful achievements demand sacrifice. The athlete training before dawn, the student pulling all-nighters, the artist revising their work for the 100th time. They all understand that mastery requires discomfort. The Roman philosopher Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You can't control when opportunity will knock, but you can ensure you're prepared when it does. And sometimes preparation itself becomes the opportunity. Take the example of Malala Yousafzai. As a young girl in Pakistan, she could have stayed silent under the oppressive regime banning girls' education. Instead, she spoke out, blogging about her experiences under a pseudonym. When the Taliban attacked her for her activism, she survived and used her platform to advocate even more fiercely. She didn't wait for someone else to champion her cause. She became the champion. Today, her work has impacted millions of lives. Her story reminds us that the most profound opportunities are often born from the courage to confront adversity head-on. Creating opportunity also means being adaptable. The world changes rapidly, industries evolve, technologies advance, and societal needs shift. Those who cling rigidly to a single path risk obsolescence. Adaptability requires continuous learning and the humility to pivot when necessary. Consider how the COVID-19 pandemic forced businesses to rethink their models. Restaurants that transitioned to takeout, fitness instructors offering virtual classes, retailers expanding e-commerce. These were acts of adaptation, not luck. They saw challenges as catalysts for innovation. Moreover, creating opportunity involves leveraging your unique strengths. Everyone has talents, experiences, and perspectives that others don't. Identifying and honing these can set you apart. The artist Frida Kahlo turned her pain and physical struggles into vibrant, deeply personal paintings that resonated globally. She didn't try to mimic others. She embraced her authenticity. Similarly, Oprah Winfrey built her media empire by leaning into her empathy and ability to connect with people. She transformed her personal struggles into a platform for empowerment. Your individuality is your superpower. Use it to carve a niche that only you can fill. It's also worth addressing the myth of the perfect moment. Many people delay action thinking, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll pursue my passion after I retire. But life is unpredictable. The perfect moment is now, imperfect, messy, and real. The author Haruki Murakami began writing his first novel at 29 while running a jazz bar. He didn't have a literary background or a quiet writing retreat. He wrote late at night, after work, fueled by determination. That novel, Hear the Wind Sing, launched his celebrated career. Don't wait for ideal circumstances. Start where you are with what you have. Procrastination often masquerades as patience. We tell ourselves we're waiting for the right time, but deep down we're avoiding the vulnerability of effort. Brené Brown, a researcher on courage and vulnerability, writes, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when you have no control over the outcome. Creating opportunity demands this courage. It means risking rejection, criticism, and uncertainty. But it's in these moments of daring that we grow and discover what we're truly capable of." Let's also dispel the notion that opportunity creation is solely for the privileged. While systemic barriers exist and must be acknowledged, history is full of individuals who transcended their circumstances through ingenuity. Take Madam C.J. Walker, the daughter of enslaved parents, who became America's first self-made female millionaire by developing hair care products for Black women. Or Nick Vujicic, born without limbs, who became a motivational speaker inspiring millions. Their stories aren't about denying hardship, but about refusing to let hardship define their potential. Opportunity creation is a mindset, not a birthright. In practical terms, how can you start creating opportunities today? Begin by auditing your time. How many hours do you spend scrolling social media, watching TV, or engaging in activities that don't align with your goals? Reclaim those moments. Use them to learn a skill, reach out to a mentor, or brainstorm ideas. Next, surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is complacent, it's harder to stay motivated." Seek out communities, online or in person, that align with your aspirations. Additionally, practice resilience. The road to creating opportunities is rarely smooth. You'll face naysayers, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. Develop a toolkit for these challenges. It might include affirmations, journaling, exercise, or talking to a trusted friend. Remember why you started. Visualize your goals as already achieved. And when you feel stuck, ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now to move forward? Action, even incremental, dispels stagnation. Finally, embrace gratitude. Recognizing the opportunities you already have fosters a mindset of abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity, "I don't have enough," to possibility, "Look at what I can build with what I have." It's the difference between seeing a half-empty glass and a half-filled one. When you appreciate your current resources, you're more likely to use them creatively. In closing, life is not a waiting game, it's a building game. Every day, you have the choice to lay bricks toward a future of your design or to stand idle hoping the winds of chance will carry you somewhere worthwhile. Don't fall into the trap of passivity. The world is shaped by those who dare to act, who refuse to be bystanders in their own stories. You have within you the power to create opportunities, to turn dreams into plans and plans into reality. So pick up your tools. Start carving that path through the forest. The journey will be challenging, but the view from the other side will be worth it. Your time is now. Don't waste it waiting for a knock on the door. Build the door yourself. Then swing it open, step through, and greet the future you've created.